I am opening. My heart is ready to see. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to see. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to see.
So let's take a moment right now and check in with our heart that's ready to receive and make a decision. What is it that you want your heart to receive? So, what good did you come here for? What do you want? Nothing is too big or too small. When you check in with your heart, you're in alignment, direct alignment with what the divine wants to experience by means of you. So let's make that decision of what we welcome into our heart right now and know that it is being provided beginning now. And so it is.
I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to see. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to see.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are opening. And it's wonderful to have a place on Sunday morning where we can come and just open up with each other, each one of us. So this is the Center for Spiritual Living Princeton, and I am John Herron. I'm a licensed practitioner here at the center. And today I was sitting there thinking, because Reverend Karen Kushner is our speaker today, and it's sort of a link. We're carrying the past into the future and carrying the future into the past, because Reverend Karen was our minister here for many, many years, and we're fortunate to be able to have her to come and still speak for us once in a while. So, today we have Reverend Karen. Next week we have Reverend Michelle again, and for those of you who have been listening to our services, you know what a great speaker Reverend Michelle is. She always brings this wonderful sense of life to this teaching. And that's what we're looking for, right? We come here, at least I know I come here, because this teaching, the practice of it, the understanding of it has really helped me to change my life. And I know that's true for a lot of us. And so please join us next week. Now, through September, the week after Reverend Michelle comes, we have our practitioner, Regina Quince, will be speaking. And then the week after that, I will be speaking. And I have been thinking, because we have some new people who have joined our community, which we always love when that happens. It's time for us to talk about spiritual mind treatment. What it is and how to do it, and what's the philosophy behind it. And so I'll be speaking on that on September 28th, and on October 5th, I'll be doing a workshop. And so if you're new, the hope is that you'll come out of that workshop being able to do a spiritual mind treatment, start the practice of that. And if you're one of our practitioners or somebody who's been in this community or this teaching for a long time, we can get together and talk, because this teaching is a living teaching, which is why we're here and what we're welcoming each other to. And so it's really wonderful to hear from other people who practice it what their experience is, because for each one of us it's different. So anyway, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Princeton. If you are watching online, thank you so much. We would love you to come down to the Masonic Lodge on a Sunday morning, especially that week on October 5th when we have a workshop. Come and join us. So, welcome. Thank you.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken into faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. Mind is willing, my heart is open wide. I gotta live a life that's real and true and free, as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in your faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know from what I thought was safe and sound, it's only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken into your faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day.
Reverend Rich, that was so beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen Drucker.
I beg your pardon?
That was Dr. Karen Drucker.
Dr. Karen Drucker. Thank you for channeling her. That was exquisite. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, first I'm going to begin with this, the singing bowl. Then I'm going to take you on an adventure. For this adventure, I would like you to choose a moment in your life when you were so happy, euphoric. Choose that moment while we sound the singing bowl. Everything is energy. So this exercise is called Let's Raise Our Vibration. And if you did your homework that I gave you a minute ago, I'd like you to think of a time when you were truly happy. Happy. Was it the moment that you achieved a goal or a dream? Was it the moment where you received a call that you got the job? Perhaps you got a new client? Was it the moment you opened the envelope to see that you received a large check? Was it the moment you looked into your child's eyes for the first time? Was it your graduation day, dressed in your cap and gown, celebrating years of dedication and hard work? Or was it simply a moment of true serenity? Go to that moment right now and capture the feelings of that moment. Not only see it, but tell me, don't tell me, feel for yourself Was it pure joy? Was it elation? Was it pure love? Serenity? Trust? Gratitude? Enthusiasm? Extraordinary confidence? Total satisfaction? Powerful pride? Awe and inspiration? Was it admiration? Euphoria? Total enjoyment? Awe and surprise? A powerful peace? Was it a combination of many feelings? The more feelings, the better. Capture that moment and feel exactly like you did in that moment. What was going on? What did you see? What was the environment? What did you hear? What did you smell? Really, really hone in on that moment. The feelings. Ooh, I got chills. Magnify it. Hold that feeling. And magnify it again. Hold it and magnify it again. Hold it for just a few more seconds. Hold, hold, enjoy, and release. You have just raised your vibration. Relax in that feeling tone to receive this treatment. There is one infinite, extraordinary, abounding love. There is one equally infinite principle of self-love. There is one divine peace, one abounding joy. Each one here is an individualized expression of the infinite spirit, heir to the infinite spirit's kingdom, God's beloved son, daughter, child. And because this is so, each one is a part of that grand, glorious, and extraordinary all good of God, the all good containing every imaginable iteration of goodness on this planet and beyond. And because each one is one with God, each one is one with their individualized, personal expression of good. Each one chooses this day the good that they seek to manifest in, through, as, and around them. Each one is this infinite power of God, individualized. And because this is so, each one moves into this day and the rest of their lives embodying the goodness of God, expressing the goodness of God, creating the goodness of God, and being it. Being it. And so whatever needs to unfold in terms of understanding, in terms of knowledge, intelligence, in terms of belief, whatever needs to unfold for each one to really get this, it is happening right now. Each one is embodying and enjoying the beingness of infinity. The infinite spirit reigns supreme. We are so glad that it is so. I release this word into God's loving law, and I know that the law knows how to do the rest. And together we say,
So
and so it is.
There's a silence in the morning when the stars still glow, and I sit there with my longing for a truth I've yet to know. Not a whisper, not a thunder, but a stillness drawing near. where the heart begins to wander, the soul begins to cool. I'm diving deep, where the current runs slow, where the dreamer meets the doer, and the river starts to flow. In the chamber of the heart, where the seeds of wonder grow, I'm diving deep into the all I've come to know. So I'll rise with my devotion to the working, to the flame. Let the winds of pure emotion form a truth I will not name. For the flow is ever guiding, like a river knows the sea. And the art is in the finding of the love that flows free. I'm diving deep, where the voices are still, where the quiet paints a vision, and the pulse becomes the will. In the garden of the mind, where love is shaking every hill, I'm diving deep, and the world begins to fill. It's not a gift that's given, it's a song that's always sung. The melody eternal, the air and on the tongue. Creation is a prayer, not for pleading, but for praise. The fire in the artist, in the dawn of all our days. I'm diving deep in the wellspring inside, where the silence turns to color and the sun forgets to hide. In the stillness of the source, I no longer need to try. I'm diving deep in the heart that paints the sky. I'm diving deep in the heart that paints the sky.
Beautiful.
Okay,
Okay.
now it's time to hear the words of truth as we believe it, as we know it, from Reverend Dr. Karen Kushner. I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I agree. Right. And thank you, Reverend Rich, for the beautiful songs and the consciousness with which you sing them.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Right?
Oh,
And thank you, Deejah, for that meditation, and John for the consciousness of this community. Because everything that's been said so far, I see all of it as what my talk is about. And in a sense, the work that we're going to be doing today is actually preparing for John's workshop on how to do spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. Because we got to get our littleness out of the way. And I say that we can only experience and accept and enjoy and express as much good as we believe our God to be. That our personal definition of God is a limit to how much good we can experience. Our personal definition of God. And so whenever I do a spiritual mind treatment, my aim is always, no matter how much or how big my God is, my aim is to always make it a little bit bigger or a lot bigger. I'll be satisfied with a teeny bit bigger, but growth in my belief in God always will demonstrate as greater good in our world. So the definition of God that I like to work with is all good. All. God is all. And God is all good. two concepts that I've had to work with, and I keep claiming for myself because I keep experiencing, right, something in my life that says, well, God's not there, or good is not there. But as I expand my concept, my inner belief, or a felt thought of, which can't be put into words, of something more than what I'm used to experiencing, I believe that everything in my life has to look like that expansion. That as we expand our concept of God, God being all, then all in my life should reflect that. A little bit better, a little bit healthier, a little bit happier, a little bit clearer. And that meditation that Deejah did was such a wonderful meditation to experience a wonderful moment that you personally had, right? Was everybody able to come up with a pretty good moment, or better than today? You know, a little bit better moment. So that's you. That's you too, and that's God. For me, my moments were every single time one of you demonstrates good as a result of my spiritual work for you. Every single time I'm like, my first thought is, there is a God. And then my second thought is, and I can use it. And I'm filled with awe at what God does. And I'm filled with humility and gratitude that I got to witness it and be a part of it. I believe probably one of our world basic questions is some version of, is there a God? Is there a God here? Is there a God there? Is there a God here? Is there a God there? Is there a God there? Is God looking at me? Yes. Okay. And then, is God good? And whenever we ask that question, we get the answer, which is yes. Yes, God is there. And yes, God is good. Now, the reason for this topic, letting loose our littleness, I think, came from a recording that I heard. The Science of Mind Library and Archives Foundation, once a month, they do give a little talk, and they have in it a recording that they've discovered somewhere, and there's a little chit-chat about it. But this recording was previously unheard of. It was an unedited version of a talk Dr. Ernest Holmes gave that became a phonograph record back in the day when such things were done. Of course, none of us remember that, right? It was an unedited version. And the edited version, which was produced and sent out, everybody heard, and they had it on the archives. You could listen to it there for free. It's all there. But the unedited version had a little piece at the end. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Because it was so good, I noticed it. And then I went to the version on the archives to listen to it, and it wasn't there. And that's when I realized, ooh, this is the edited version I'm listening to, but the unedited, I found it right there. And this is what he said. So at the very end, Dr. Ernest Holmes used to like to end with a spiritual mind treatment, an affirmative prayer, or a meditation, whatever you want to call it, for good. And then clearly after he had done it, they decided that this little piece didn't sound like a spiritual mind treatment. So they cut it off. But this is what he said. And believing that the kingdom of God is at hand, I say to everything that is little in my life, expand, increase, believe in my greater opportunity, know that you are one with good forever.
Oh.
I got chills again. So Science of Mind Art Library and Archives Foundation, you could go there. What was the talk? The talk was about, I think the talk was on how not to worry. And, you know, it's a great talk, great to listen to the whole thing. But that, and he goes on after that to say, and everything that is this in me, I command you to blah, 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 and everything that is this way in me, da, 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 da. But he was, let's put that word, channeling. He had begun with a spiritual mind treatment, and then something just took over. And the way that I think he frequently prayed for himself just took over. And if you look at the Science of Mind textbook, you've got all the how to treat and all the spiritual truths all mushed in there all over the place. But at the very, very end of the book, there's meditations, little meditations. And if you look at them, you're like, well, that's not a spiritual mind treatment format. And also, only in that section, it's a whole section of little prayers, maybe 5 or 6 sentences long, not very long. But only there does he call God the all-good. And at least 6 or 7 times it's there. I think, and I have no evidence, I think that's how he really prayed every once in a while when he connected. So I encourage you to go check out that little section. But for today, let's take a moment now, and I invite you to hold tight to yourself or clench your fists. Somehow hold on to something. Maybe hold on to your purse or hold on, right? And just hold it all in, all your good, hold it all in. Oh. And now just let it go. So letting loose your littleness is that experience. We tend to think, I've got to grow. I've got to get more good. I've got to work on a higher idea of God or something. But the spiritual truth that we want to work with is that divine all-good creator made me, made you out of itself. And it's all good, or whatever you say it is. It's all harmony, it's all love, it's all peace, it's all beauty, it's all joy, it's all life. Dr. Ernest Holmes tells us in his book, at first, it might seem like you're just saying that mechanically. God is all good, God is all good, God is all good. You might not believe it, but that's okay. That's where we start. We begin claiming what is spiritual truth. And spiritual truth can be what you would like it to be. I would like a God that is all good. Dr. Kennedy Schultz used to say, if you're going to put a God first in your life, make sure you believe in a God that you want to put first in your life, right? Why put in a judgmental, mean, cranky God? How can you put that first in your life, right? But a God that is forgiving, a God that creates life and wants it to live its life more abundantly, a generous God. Dr. Ernest Holmes, in this bunch of unpublished teachings called Love and Law, this was published posthumously, he talks about the little God that we human beings tend to identify with. He says that, he says it all over the place so much, but we have got to get over little concepts and begin to provide a bigger realization of the universal. And that what we tend to do is think of ourselves and then what must God be like if God was us? Or if I were God, what would God be like? And he tells us we're talking about something that created the universe, something that created the sky that's behind me. And it created this beautifully polished floor, which we've been delighting in this morning. And it created your eyelashes. That which created all this isn't an angry, judgmental God going, well, that one there did blah, 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 and I'm going to hold resentment against that one. Or I'm going to calculate all the crimes that one there committed. And I got a list, like Santa Claus, right? Checking it twice. That was my first idea of God, like Santa Claus, because Santa Claus was God to me as a child. It kept score. I got little stars during the month of December for every good day. Not really clear about how I earned those stars, but somehow those stars appeared. So somebody was keeping track. Well, that's a human idea of God, which when I started hearing about God, I figured, well, that must be God, something like that. But you see, definitions create outlines, right? You're looking at me and you're saying, okay, that is Karen. You've got an outline of me. I mean, is anybody saying that is Karen and looking off into the corner of the room? But why not? Am I there? Somebody's saying no. I know I'm there. You don't know, right? So definitions create outlines, and outlines become limitations. And we have to, when we've got a definition, it makes us uncomfortable when the something we've defined isn't fitting into our definition. We're like, what is that? You know, we get scared when a common object, there's a whole bunch of videos on the internet where somebody's pranking someone else by having a stuffed animal that's sitting next to them suddenly move. I'm sorry. And they scream, right? Because their definition of the stuffed animal doesn't include it moving. And so we don't like that. But what we need to realize is our definition of God, as well as our definition of ourselves, becomes an outline. And there's something in us that doesn't like it if we start moving away from that outline, from that self-definition, or from the definition of God. There's something about us that's uncomfortable, and maybe we feel a little bit of fear, right? What Dr. Ernest Holmes is telling us is to drop those outlines, that the all good of God that's everywhere present is present in us. All has no outline. All. So I invite you to look at that sky behind me, because Dr. Ernest Holmes had a practice, which he talks about a lot in this published book of Love and Law. He says that daily he would spend time connecting with the big industries of life, with the big things humanity was doing, with the great, the greater, the larger. And I realized that I'm used to Karen, her world, and let's make the best out of it. You know, what's the best can I do with this day? What's the best can I do with this mood? What's the best that I can do given the outlines that I have? And Dr. Ernest Holmes realized that those outlines were his limitations. And so he spent time every day going outside the outline. So that sky that I'm inviting you to look at, I want you to realize as you're looking at that sky, you can actually see all the way to the very end of the universe. Right? There's no obstruction. There's nothing in the way. You just don't think you're seeing the end of the universe. And even as you're seeing the end of the universe, that end of the universe is continuously moving. So there's no end to what you are seeing. Now your mind, your eyeballs, is able to see the Earth's atmosphere. But at night, when you look, you're not seeing the Earth's atmosphere, are you? You're seeing stars. You might be seeing a drone, airplanes, and unidentified things. That's all true. But none of those things are blocking your view into the vast, enormous universe that we are at the center of.
Yes.
So if you see it, you are it. And right there, so I've been spending some time doing this, just looking out at that universe there and saying, I'm seeing the whole universe from this point all the way out. I'm not seeing the universe behind me. I'm seeing this universe, but it's infinite and it keeps expanding outward. I am seeing it. I am seeing it. Not my eyeballs, not my mental impressions and perceptions of the senses, whatever, but something in me, the I am in me, is seeing infinite expansion. And then what I do as the practice, which is just mechanical at the moment because I certainly don't believe it yet, but as I do it, I say, and I am it. I am that. Even though I can't see it, I am that. And so it's a spiritual practice to see beyond the definition of myself. And so even my eyesight, my earthly eyesight, is limited by my definition of myself. Well, I'm a human being in a human body, and eyeballs can only do so much. Even dogs, right, see more colors than I do, right, or less? Less. Well, there's some animals that see more things than I do, right? Cats see stuff. I don't see. That's for sure. They see it all over my house. I'm like, what? I don't want to know, right? But so to daily spend some time, and another way was the way that Deejah's meditation was, with connecting with the divine reality of what we are seeing, is a way to expand our consciousness and identification with God, with the all good. And therefore, we then claim, if I am seeing further and farther into the universe than ever before, then everything in my life has to reflect that expanded eyesight, that expanded vision. So, then someone else did a spiritual mind treatment. On the ministers have a email group, and one of us posts a spiritual mind treatment every day. So yesterday, someone posted this quote from Ernest Holmes. It is our philosophy, Science of Mind teaching, that if we scrape away the debris, that which contradicts the divine presence is the debris. If we scrape away the debris, we shall find a divinity concealed in everything, every person, everywhere, all the time. And it is our belief that in such degree as we may individually and collectively perceive this divinity, it will appear. And it appears in our lives. The debris, those limitations, those boundaries, to see them as debris that we have collected that causes us to believe I only am what I can see with these eyeballs. Or I can only express what I've expressed so far. Or I can only express what the usual human can express on a day like today. Those unconscious beliefs or limitations live in me, and to realize they're debris. This quote about that debris has given me a whole new insight into house cleaning, right? You don't do anything. You're just living there, and all this debris settles around. We call it dust. You know, why should it settle there? What is it? Isn't it also the all good, the life, the light, the glory of the divine revealing itself? But what's settling is the patterns of my belief in physical form. So if you really grasp the spiritual truth of this talk, your house should become cleaner instantly. You know, as you look out at that infinite universe, it should manifest as no vacuuming needed today. I haven't demonstrated that yet. In fact, when I first got into this teaching, I didn't fully understand everything, but I had recently moved into this tiny little one-bedroom out of a full 3-story house, and my chest of drawers, my bureau, was filled with all this stuff that needed to be put somewhere, and I was in this teeny little spot, so what needed to be done with it. And I would come home every day from work, and I would sit on my bed, and I would look at that bureau, and I would do a spiritual mind treatment that it was clear, that it was absolutely clear, beautifully organized, whatever. I would do that treatment every day. For weeks I did it. I would have that habit. I'd come home from work, I'd sit on my bed, I'd look at that mess, and I'd go, treatment, And see, I thought it would just happen. And I'm treating. So one day, I came home, and I automatically cleared off the bureau. I just cleared it all off without even thinking about it. And then I continued with my routine and sat on the bed and got ready to do my treatment, and I looked at the bureau and I'm like, oh, it's demonstrated. It used me, but it demonstrated. And so that's what we want to realize is as we release these limitations about ourselves, we're able to do things and participate in expressing this all good that we are. And so, yes, the demonstration magically appears, and magically we were a part of its unfolding. I still love those treatments, and they do happen, where I don't actually have to physically clear off the bureau. They do happen, but more often than not, the fulfillment of the good that I desire requires me to accept myself as a part of the activity of that all-good divine mind, expressing in my world. In me, through me, as me. There's a beautiful song, "Command my hands, what must they do?" Beautiful poem by Rilke that I've been working on memorizing. My new goal is to memorize one poem a month. You'll like it. The first poem was the worst. It took me a year to memorize. Jabberwocky from Lewis Carroll. There's a whole lot of words in there that are not defined. A whole lot of them. Manxome foe. Frumious, baldersnatch. I mean, words like that. But about a month ago, I was stuck selling tickets for the county fair, and not many people were coming through, and I didn't have anything else to do, but I had that poem on my phone, so I set it up and I put it there, and I just seriously started memorizing all these strange words, and boom, I memorized it. And then what I've noticed ever since is it's been very easy to memorize anything ever since, whereas before I was having the thoughts, well, how old are you? And your mind is going, and you're not so easy, and da 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 da. that limitation, and I just decided that's not good for me to believe because it cannot be true about me. It cannot be true about you that you're losing the health, you're losing your mind, you're losing your good, you're losing your friends. Loss is not a part of this universe that you are seeing right now. It's expanding, it's growing. There's nothing lost in there. All of it, right there in front of our eyes. All of it is right there. And as we see that and identify with it and agree with it, then it has to be true of ourselves. There is no loss. And so to release the debris of the beliefs about the human race, and this debris is, right, there's stickiness to the debris of the human race. There's, in fact, in her spiritual mind treatment, this woman, after she did that quote, she did in her spiritual mind treatment to follow, she says, in this moment, okay, do this. In this moment, I align my thoughts and beliefs with the divine presence to reveal its nature in greater fullness than I have yet expressed. To do so, I release the debris of negative reports on the economy, on threats to health and our environment, on warring factions around the globe, and of all belief in separation from source. Freed from negativity, I am now fully prepared to become the peace, the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, the balance and harmony, the abundance that is the divine presence in us as us. From deeply knowing that I am connected with all life, that the presence within me is within all, I release my word with gratitude and confidence in the perfect action of law, perfectly poised in love, and so it is. Reverend Winona Nilsson, I don't even know who she is. I sent her an email. Oh my God. So good. Love your treatment. Copying will be sharing. And then I went to the book. Where is that quote? Found it. And here we are today because of all that activity of being invited to listen to this little program, which is free. I'm saying Science of Mind Library and Archives. Google it. Go to it, sign up to listen to the once a month lunchtime series, or just go into their archives and look at free audios, whatever, it's all over the place, or just type in how not to worry, and you'll find this, and you'll see a bunch of things, a bunch of choices. It's up to you to figure out which one has the unedited version. But because of that, because I listened, I said, what else are you doing? You might as well go. Listen, I heard that little piece, and then here we are talking today. Something greater. And then Deejah giving that Marianne Williamson quote, right? It is not our littleness, but it is our greatness. We're very comfortable in our littleness with all the debris all around us, right? How much energy does it take you to dust? How many products do they make to make it easier to dust? I've tried them all, right? Vacuum, dust, the debris of it, just sort of like, but oh my gosh, I'll end with this little thought here. It's a quote that was in one edition of a book called Hidden Power for Human Problems by Dr. Frederick Bales. It's not in any other edition. Why? I do not know. Who wrote this little quote? They stuck it in between chapters as a little, I don't know. Who did it? Who did it? Did Bales do it and they take it out? Did the editor do it? And I don't know. I don't care. Because this is the way to accept for yourself more. Expect the best. The best. What's the best? The best that you could possibly have? No, it doesn't say that. Expect the best. The best. Another word for God, maybe. Expect the best. Expect to have a demonstration like I have, where one of you demonstrates instantaneously, completely the good, and I participated in it. Expect the best. Expect to see that end of the universe expanding outward. Expect the best. Okay? Expect the best. And allow the creative process to silently clear away the debris of a disordered life. You can tell why I have it memorized. Expect the best and allow the creative process to silently clear away the debris of a disordered life. That's what we're claiming for ourselves this day. So Reverend Rich is going to give us some music. We're going to have an offering. And I'll come back afterwards and do a treatment that we all expect the best, that we have that greater idea of God and of ourselves. And the debris is all silently, effortlessly cleared away. And our true divinity is revealed.
Oh.
So let's do that.
Wow. And now we come to the part of our service where we practice the law of circulation. We do not give because God needs the gift, but because the giving increases, broadens, and deepens the life of the giver. Nor shall we give from the standpoint of duty. The universe refuses to bargain with us. It has already given us everything that it has. But it also has provided that the gift of life can be received in its fullness only as it flows through us to the fullness of others. So we here at the Center for Spiritual Living Princeton, thank you in advance for your gracious, wonderful offerings. I know a lot of us give online. And if you'd like to do that, please go to www.cslprinceton.org. And you will see a donate button that you can pay your offering through PayPal. Thank you. For your tithes. And please know that it is put to very good use. We have a very, very efficient treasurer who works hard to stretch our dollars and pay our bills and, use the money wisely. So we thank you.
And so, I invite you to look at the sky wherever you are and realize this truth. that there is a God, creator. Let's call it the creator of all that is. It's creating this universe. It's creating the sky. That sky in which the entire universe exists. And each one is now in some way seeing this universe in its allness, in its infinity. And each one is seeing it beyond the limitations of the five senses. Something within is seeing all that already is created. And seeing the allness of what already is created, each one is realizing that he or she is more than what he or she thinks they are. More than these five senses, more than this earthly body, and certainly more than the definition of oneself. The definition of each one is now wide open to include the all good. Each one is somehow connected and is a part of this infinite universe. And each one is seeing it and feeling it and hearing it and thinking it and believing it and embodying it in a greater way than ever before. And as a result, because of this expanded acceptance of the all good, in every area of each one's lives, there is a corresponding increase of good. In health, in wealth, in love, in creativity, in success, in grace and ease, in joy, in harmony, in peace, in beauty, in blessings. In every way that a human is expressing this life, this idea and consciousness and acceptance of a greater life is now expanded in all ways. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, on every plane of action. It's a law. It's the way life works. It's the way it is. And so I am grateful that this is the way it is, and I am delighted to experience and hear about all the demonstrations that result because of this word of truth being spoken now. It is done. We agree with it and accept it by saying together, so it is.
Thank you. Wow.
I said